Plynlimon. He stood in the Cambrian Mountains, taller than all of the other peaks. When he looked south, he could see the Preseli Hills. When he looked west, he could see Ireland and County Cork. When he looked north, he could see the majestic Snowdon Range. When he looked east, he could see Shropshire, and as far as the Malvern Hills. He was proud, and he looked out across his view. The weather came to him then across the Irish Sea, flooding him with water which ran over his body, down into his shoes, deep into the mountain. Sometimes the weather threw sleet and snow, but he stood there bravely. One day he felt that there was a gurgling, a bubbling at his feet, and he discovered that there were 3 beautiful springs. They were water spirits at his feet, one to the south, one to the west, and one to the east. They gurgled, they chattered, they chortled, they laughed. He realized that they were his 3 daughters. And he looked down at them and he said, "Ah, I can see that you are water spirits." "Yes," they said, "Father, you must let us go on our destiny, which is to the ocean." "Very well," said the giant Plynlimon, "but first of all, allow me to make you a beautiful cloak so that you will flow well all your way to the ocean." And so they waited while he gathered threads from the bracken, from the thorns, from the mosses, from the grasses, and then he reached deep into the rocks and he found precious gems, and he wove them over time into 3 beautiful cloaks. And he said, "Here now, my daughters, it is time for you to leave." Ystwyth, the youngest in the west, she shouted, she said, "Ah, father, I must go. I'm in a great hurry, and I will go west, and I will go quickly to the sea." Plynlimon gave her a cloak, and she went rapidly west, down the hill and down the mountain and across the plain until she soon reached the sea. And there she created the river Ystwyth. And when she got to the end of the land, the humans made a town called Aberystwyth. And next, the eldest, Havran, she spoke up and she said, "Father, I have no need to go quickly. I would like to go deep into the land and bring to the humans communications, culture, learning. I don't mind going hundreds of miles until I reach the ocean." "Very well, my daughter," said Plynlimon, and he took the second cloak and gave it to her. And she very sedately went eastwards, gliding down the mountain and out into the land. And she wandered far, 180 miles, and the places that grew around her were Worcester, Hereford, Shrewsbury and Gloucester. And then she continued from Gloucester right down to Chepstow. But there she paused. And the people said, "We have got the River Severn." And now it was the turn of the second daughter. And she spoke up and she says, "Father, I am not in a hurry. would like to go peaceably and slowly southwards, for I would like to bring peace and joy, simplicity, beauty to the people. Very well, my darling daughter, here is your cloak. And the giant Plynlimon gave her a cloak. And off she went gently down the mountain, and then she began to meander great big swooping swathes. Until she got to Chepstow. And the people said, we have the River Wye, and we will build Hay-on Wye and Ross-on Wye, and we will build the Abbey of Tintern by these beautiful waters. And so it is. And at Chepstow, the Wye meets the River Severn. And so the daughters met each other again, and they flowed out to the Bristol Channel and then into the ocean to meet their youngest daughter, Ystwyth. But they were true to their word not to forget their father. And in the autumn mists, the mists from the river come and flood down the giant Plynlimon and renew the springs where they began. The giant Plynlimon, he looks south and he can see the Preseli Hills. He looks west and he can see Ireland and County Cork. When he looks north, he sees the Snowdon Range, and when he looks east, he can see the Malvern Hills, and he sees the beauty of his rivers, his daughters, the River Severn, the River Wye, and the River Ystwyth.